Hello everyone and welcome back to the 15 days of OpenCV course for beginners in Python. I'm Chando and I am super excited to be instructor of this course. So in this one, we're going to learn how can we actually use the threshold in OpenCV. So without any further delay, so let's get started. So before starting the coding, we also know that what is thresholding. So thresholding is very popular image segmentation technique. It actually used for extract the object from its background. In thresholding, each pixel value is compared with the threshold value. So if the pixel value is smaller than the threshold, it's set to 0. Otherwise, it is set to the max value. Let's say 255. So this is nothing but for the case of thresh binary. So that's mean the threshold is divided into two region, or you can say two group. That's mean below the threshold or above the thresholds. So we're going to discuss about that and go on the slide. So all right, so now you can see here the headline is nothing but called roles and this one called output. Okay, so you can see here there are so many types of thresholding. So first one is the thresh binary and the thresh binary inverse, thresh strong and the thresh strong 0, thresh to 0 and the thresh to 0 inverse. So now I'm going to actually discuss about the first one that's called the thresh binary. Okay, and you can see here this is nothing but the rules for thresh binary. Okay, so for that we are going to take one simple image. For this one is nothing but our sample image or general images, and you can see here the pixel is actually start from 0. This is start from 0 and end to 255. Okay, 255. So 255 mean this is the fully white images and 0 mean full black. Okay, so now we're going to discuss about that. So first one is the nothing but the destination pixel. Okay, this is the destination pixel of the thresh binary. So you can see here max value, and if the source pixel of x coordinate y, because you know pixel, that's the image, is nothing but a numpy array, and there should be the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the is pixel. So if the source x comma y is greater than threshold value, okay, then we are going to actually replace this with the maximum value. So let's assume that we have lower value is 0 and our maximum value is nothing but the 255. We know that 0 mean black and 255 mean white. So we assume that our threshold value is, let's say, 127. So this is our nothing but the threshold value. So for the image, let's see. So when the threshold value is 127, that's when we actually go for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 255. That's mean on this position, let's say this is nothing but the 127 pixel. Okay, then we are going to actually replace all the pixel from here with 255. Why? You can see here on this screen max value. Then we will replace that. That's mean on the binary this side should be the white and this side should be black. Why black? You can see here on the other condition, that's mean else, you can see here otherwise 0. That's in black, and you can see here our image is converted into like that. Okay, so now for the thresh binary inverse. So for thresh binary inverse, you can see here this is again the discrimination pixel, and you can see here this is totally inverse of the thresh binary. Simple. You can see here this comes from here and this comes from here. Simple. For the inverse of the binary. And now we're going to discuss about the trunk. So what is the trunk here? So again, this is the discrimination pixel, and you can see here the rules. So if the source x comma y is greater than threshold, so let's assume that again the threshold is 127. So when it actually greater than the 127, then we are going to actually replace this with a threshold value. So our threshold value is nothing but the 127. That's mean on this position 127, what will be the value of the thresholding? Okay, so when actually greater than, then you're going to actually make this as a based on the threshold value. So for the 127, there should be the pixel maybe the grayish one. So that's why it actually make this for this one to be 127 pixel, and you can see it's look like whiter and otherwise we actually making this source as it is same. That means this is remains same on this case, and you can see here this is nothing but remains same in this case, but this pixel that means greater than source x comma y, it actually changes on this based on the threshold below. So if we have threshold below 127, that's been actually based on the color. Okay, so if we give here the pixel below or the threshold below as 255, so the whole picture is nothing but converted into white, full white. Okay, okay, that's great. So now this one for the trash to 0. So for the trash to 0, you can see here if the source x comma y, that's mean the your thresholding value is less than src, when that means source x comma y, that's mean otherwise the source pixel is greater than threshold value, then we are going to actually replace with the source x comma y. For that, what you can do, you can see here for the 20, the rest of the pixel is nothing but 0, because this is nothing but the less than for the source. Okay, less than for the source, and for the greater than, we are going to actually make this as same as it is source, for like that, because this is the original source of the images. So this is nothing but our rest of the source x comma y, and this is nothing but about 0. So that's why this is a 0 for the first one, and the second one, that means second one is 0, sorry, and the first one is nothing but actually same as it is for that. And you can say 20, and the trash 20 inverse is actually opposite of the 20 inverse. Okay, so how you actually jump on the coding, then you actually understand all the things in very details. I think you are feeling boring when actually talking about the theoretical part, because you know it's so important topic that you need to understand while you actually doing the coding. So let's get started and jump on the coding part. Okay, sorry. So all right, so we discussed about the theoretical part and we understand all the things in very detail. So now it's actually implement this theoretical part in the coding. So I'm going to click here to create a new Python file here. Let's say 8.py. Okay, so for the testing purpose, you're going to actually using the same image that you're actually discussing on the theoretical part. So this is the image that you're going to use that. So now I'm going to actually load the images here. So let's say import cb2, and I'm going to load the image. So for that, cb2.im read, and inside that we need to actually put here the path of the file name. So our file name is nothing but our called the black and white images. So black and white .jpeg. Okay, now it's time to actually show the images. So cb2.im show, and inside that we need to actually give here one window name. So let's say frame and your image. So let's assign into one variable that's called the image, and I'm going to copy this and paste it on here, and I'm going to add here one white key. Sorry, this is called the keyboard binding function, and you already discussed about all the things in before. And I'm going to put here the cb2.destroy all and do okay, save and run the code and see that that is actually work fine or not. Okay, and you can see here our actual image is loaded. Okay, so now it's time to actually discussing about that how can we use the threshold on here. So for using the threshold, we can use one method that's called the cb2.threshold. So cb2.threshold, and you can see here this will take some parameter as argument. So first one is a source, so our source is nothing but our image, and the second one is a thresh. So let's give here the 127 as it is for the theoretical part, and the maximum value let's say 255, and the thresh type. So first thresh type we actually discussing about this in the theoretical part, that is called the thresh binary. So on the cb2, that's called the here this thresh type here. So let's say thresh binary, this one, and it actually return two value. First one is actually return type, let's say red, and the another one is nothing but called let's say threshold. Okay, so this one, so we are going to actually show this threshold as an image. You can also show that. Okay, just paste it on here and make this as let's say this one, let's say called image. Okay, or you can say image, let's say binary, let's say threshold binary, let's be good. Okay, and I'm going to make this as this threshold. Okay, that's fine. And now let's save this and run the code here. And now you can see here, this is the original frame, our original image, and this is nothing but a converted image into trash binary. So after the 127, it will actually converting this into white pixel. Why? In the roles we see that if the threshold value is less than source, then make it as 0. If the source is greater than threshold value, then replace it with the maximum value. So in this case, our maximum value is nothing but 250 feet. Okay, so you can also decrease this size, let's say 30, and I'm going to save that and run the code here, and you can see after the 30 it will make this one as a white. Okay, so for the trash binary inverse it also same, so I'm going to copy paste the code here for the time consumptiveness. Okay, so I type here and make it complete, and you can see also same as it is the trash binary. You can see the trash binary inverse, trash trunk, and the trash to 0 and trash to 0 inverse. Those are mostly same in all of the cases. So this is called the global threshold. So in the following video we are actually discussing about the adapting threshold. How can you use this the adapting threshold? Okay, I'm going to save that and run the code here and see the output. Okay, so now you can see here, this is for the trash binary inverse. So let's make it on here. This is trash 0, trash trunk, trash binary, trash trunk here, trash 0. Let's make it on here, and this is the original frame, and this is for the trash 0 inverse. Okay, see the difference. So first one is the trash binary inverse, and this is the threshold binary. So on the threshold binary, the pixel is replaced by 255, and the trash binary is opposite. That means replace this black to white and the white to black. And this is for the threshold trunk. Oh, sorry, threshold trunk is nothing but it actually give this, that means actually replace this with the own threshold value. That means after the 30, the threshold value is remain like that for the 30, and it actually make this 30 as the rest of the threshold, and otherwise it remains same as it is the frame and threshold trunk. And the threshold 0 we are going to replace as the source x comma 1, and rest of them 0. So after the 30 it actually make this as, you can see here, black, that means 0, and rest of them as it is same. Okay, and trash 0 inverse is opposite. You can see here trash 0 inverse is go on side, and actually after the 30 pixel, actually this threshold value is actually replaced on here. So that is called the trash 0 inverse. Okay, so if I close that and also try to change this value as 127, then you can see 127, and this one 127, and also 127, and this one also 127, and this one 127. Okay, save it and run the code and see the output. So now you can see here in the theoretical part how you discuss the things, and you can see here same as it is. Trash binary, trash binary inverse, trash trunk, this is our original frame, threshold 0, and the threshold 0 inverse. Okay, so you can see here this is the actual thing, it actually happening on here. So we can also use one track bug to actually changing the value here, because we are going to actually change on the dynamically. Okay, that's when you need to go on our code and do it on manually. So we can use one track bar to actually change the value. So in day 7 we already discussed about the what is track bug and how can you use track bug on your code in OpenCV. And this is for the code for the day number 7. So I'm going to copy this code, or I'm going to type here, and I'm going to actually discuss about this in very details on here. Also, if you have any problem or if you don't know about what is track bug, you can go my day number 7 video, then you can actually understand the things in very details. Okay, so you can copy this code from here, this one, and I'm going to paste it on here. And this is the callback function, and you can also remove this and make it as, let's say, pass. We don't need that. Name window as the frame, same as it is, and let's say create track bug. So this is nothing but for the thresholding. So let's make it as thresholding, and the frame is the same frame name, and we're going to create one while loop. Okay, so let's say while true, and you're going to make this one inside that, and also you're going to make it as 0, no problem, and you're going to set one wait key to break the loop, this infinite loop. So if k equal to ord, that's a q, so you're going to actually break the loop here. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to just cut this line here and paste it on here, because you're going to actually use the trackball, and we need to also change the value here. Okay, and all we need to also destroy the all window after the while loop is end, and also we need to change here as a 1, because this is nothing but on the infinite tab how you actually press the key from the keyboard, and all the actually frame is will be gone, and destroy the window after that the while loop is gone. Okay. Okay, so now what we can do, we can change the value here, let's say 0 to 255, and we get the trackback position from here. So now I'm going to go on here and copy these lines here, and I'm going to paste it on here, just paste on here. Okay, and let's make it as thresholding here. Okay, so our work is done right now. I'm going to copy this code and going to paste it on here. And this is so easy, and in day number 7 we actually discuss about all the things in very details about the trackball. If you missed it out, so check it out, link will be in the descriptions. I'm going to save the code and run the code here and see the output. Okay, so now you can see here how you actually change the value from here, and you can see here our existing frame is actually changing the value, and you can see here on the 30, and you can see here 30 is what the hash binary. The first one is nothing but a 0, and the rest of them are 255. How you actually try to increase the thresholding value, let's say this one to 255 255, and you can see here this thresh 0 is also be 0, and thresh binary is also be 0, because this maximum value is nothing but right now 255. That means it actually replacing this background with 255, and that's why it actually completely, and you can see completely white and completely this one black. Okay, this one you can see here. Okay, and you can see here this is the trash trunk. Okay, based on the value you can see here this is also be black. Why? On the trash trunk this is nothing but actually replacing the based on the threshold value, and that's why it's actually right now not fully black, right now fully black. Okay, you can also use one pixel on here. Okay, okay, on the frame it's gone, and let's use the spiderman.jpg file, let's say jpg, and also use this spiderman.jpg image, and also you're going to convert this image into grayscale, let's say put here 0, or you can see here cb2.grayscale. Okay, and you can see about spiderman images here. For the thresh 0 is also visible, and the thresh binary for 0 is not actually visible. I'm actually using increasing the size, and you can see here this is the output. Okay, thresh trunk, thresh binary is called actually this is the grayscale image, and it is the white one, that's why it's actually visible, because this is the maximum value from here. Okay, that's also visible, but how you actually go on the last of them, and you can see here it's not visible, that's mean it actually black. Okay, you can see here this is also the same thresh 0, and this is you can see a thresh 0 inverse, that's mean white should be black and black should be the white, like that. And this is the threshold binary, that means this is the opposite of them, and you can see that on the white side it will be black, and on the black side it will be the white. Okay, and this is the threshold trunk here. Okay, and you can see here how it actually change the files here. Very interesting and so awesome. Okay, so this is the tutorial, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for never missing updates. And I am so sick, and that's why my voice is not so clear. If you are getting some troubles to actually listening it, so comment below, I will try to resolve that.